Prudence, of course, folks. It's a tricky one, this, but if you do the pick correctly in the first place, it's not as tricky as you think. There's a few different parts to it, but it's all pretty basic. First thing I want you to do is have a look at this. These are the string numbers that you're going to play. 5 and 1 together, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Alright, 5 and 1 together, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. And also you have to drop your bass string, the E string, to a D. Now I use a little snark tuner to do that, which when you're doing live gigs it's really easy because you can turn your guitar down and still. If you haven't got one, just play your 4th string and, you know, try and tune it by ear, the old-fashioned way, folks, you know. So looking at the pick again, if I hold that like that, this is the bit you've got to get right first, and then everything will fall into place. 5 and 1. Now try and use this little rule of the fingers that I always have. Don't try and do it with one finger, it won't work, you'll end up getting in a mess. Try and, you know, allocate the right finger for the right string. So this one will play 3rd string, finger 2 will play the 2nd, and finger 3 will play the 1st. Your thumb will look after 4, 5 and 6. And if you do that, generally speaking, you'll be okay. It's the only way to get it right, really. So 5 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. 5 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Alright, so let's put that down there. Now when you're practicing this, you can do this quietly without driving anybody mad. You mute the strings. And get that rhythm. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go straight into the main riff. There's an intro bit that fades in, and there's an intro, the same intro fades out. But that's tricky, and it's not, you know, it's not the most important bit of the track. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to show you, get you started first so you've got, it sounds like Dear Prudence. So let's have a look at what the shapes are. We've got a D, okay? Then we're going to bring our little finger up to the 5th string of the 3rd fret, alright? Which is a C. Doesn't matter what it's called, just put your finger on there, you can always figure that out later. Alright, when you've done that, you're going to bring your 1st finger up to the 5th string at the 2nd fret. Alright, and then when you've done that, you're going to bring the same finger to the 1st fret. It's a little bit trickier, that one, but you'll get it. Alright, so let's do that again. We start off, and it's one cycle of the pick on each chord. So very often, there's millions of guitars on that, on the Beatles version. It's all dubbed to death. I've never heard them playing it live. And when you do this, everyone who plays guitar will know that when you pull that little finger on the 5th string, it nearly always mutes off the 4th string. Always, unless you've got a really long finger. And I have terrible trouble doing that. So I'm going to play it for you and tell me what you think. Sounds alright to me, you know. And what I'm doing there is I'm cheating, really. And as I get to the 4th string, which I know, unless I can really get that finger over the top, to avoid that, I'm lifting the finger off as I strike the 4th string. Bass string by that time sort of done his job, and the overall ambience of the sound will carry it through. So if you want this little cheat, alright, I'm not into cheating, but it's better than mucking it up. So watch what I'm going to do. 5 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 5 and 1. And as I hit the 4th string, I'll just lift that off. And I'll do the same with this one if I feel I can't do that one. You know, it's not too bad on that one. If I struggled with it. So if I do it from this angle, you see, 5 and 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. See? Little cheat if that 4th string gets you down. You'll get away with it. It's better to try and do it without the cheat, but you know, if you really want to play that song, you will get away with it, all right? And if I hadn't have told you all about that, you would not know that I, on occasion, do it. I wish I hadn't said it now, but there you go. So that's the main riff. So that covers the intro and it covers the verse. The sun is up. I can't sing up there. The sun is up. The sky is blue. It's beautiful. And so are you, dear Prudence. And then when it goes to what you come out to play, it goes to a C, a 5-string version of the C. Now you're not going to play the 6th now. You're going to use the 5th string twice. Won't you? And then play a G like this with 2 fingers down here. I always put that finger on there. I'm so used to doing it. Don't hit it though, for God's sake. Again, same pick. Come out to. And then that finger, that 3rd finger is nicely placed to take us back to the riff. I'll do that again. Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? And when you're playing this, try and go. Try and get a bit of weight on that. Okay, now there's another bit where it goes look. It's like a little middle section. Look around, round, round. Let's look at that bit. It's a D. Then it goes to like a little bit of a G. 1st finger across 2 strings. 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, same pick. Up to the 5th fret, back to the 3rd, and again. Then when he goes, look around, it goes to a straight F. Look, but no 6th string, stick on the 5th string. Look around. F, A flat, G. Now what I'll do is I've got Dear Prudence on here. I'll just play from those bits. Get those notes out. C, G. So they're the main bits. So just to recap on those bits, when you get to the F, you don't play the 6th. Same pick exactly, but don't play the 6th. Just use the 5th string twice. Same with the A flat. Same with this G. And when you get back to the D, back to the drone bass. Now, there's a beautiful introduction to this, which they sort of fade in, which is a shame because it's great and you miss half of it. Let's look at the shapes. Exactly the same pick as well on the intro. So we've got our 1st finger on the 2nd string at the 12th fret and fingers 2 and 3 at the 14th on the 3 and 1. Okay, so move that shape down 2 frets and do the same thing. Alright, now drop your 1st finger to the 2nd over strings 2 and 1 and put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string at the 11th fret. Move it down to the 8th fret, so we've got this. Make a D shape at the 7th fret, like part of a G. Same pick. No, it's not, I'm wrong. Do that again. I wasn't wrong, I was right. D shape at the 7th fret. My glasses nearly fell off then as well. And then this bit of an F shape at the 5th fret again. Again, same shape as before. And now move down to this shape. It's a bit of a stretchy one. Finger 1 on string 1 and finger 2 on string 3 at the 5th, and your 3rd finger on string 2 at the 5th, and you play that twice at that position, and you sort of give it a bit of a build on that chord. Let me play it again. The feel, I'm getting the pick right. Now when you're playing with just one guitar, as I am, or you probably are, and you've got no band, you've got to remember you have to provide the dynamics of a band in the one performance on the one guitar. So you've got to give it all light and shade in the same way you would if you did a drawing and you give it shade to give it depth. So we have to add different weight to different strings to make it move along. Basically we've got to make it sound like the Beatles, you know. If we don't, we're in trouble. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. Persevere with it. I'm going to do, for those people who are watching this that are new to guitar picking, I'm going to do a lesson just on picking, and I've got a great track to start with, and I promise you, if you do what I tell you, you'll be able to do it in half an hour, and you'll be able to, and when people walk past you or past the room and you're playing it, people will say, "Oh, what's that you're doing? Isn't that great? Have you heard him?" It's going to sound fantastic. I won't tell you what it is yet. I've got one more track to do that I promised, which is Bookends, which I'm going to do tomorrow, and then we'll do a tutorial on finger picking. And I promise you, if you do it the way I'm telling you, nice and easy, you'll be playing fantastically within no time. All right, take care, see you soon, bye bye.